Hello everyone, and welcome back to Roll. So I've done a few runs now on the new patch, and I was just wondering, what would it be like if we bought everything from the shop? So let's do that. So we start with our dice. What's the cheapest thing? +1, 28. We'll buy that, then the 2 plus 5s, then upgrade, and just keep going like that. I'm going to need some other form of dice rolling for efficiency. Hold on. Perfect. So we'll do 1 on 4, so they become multiples of 5. Then we'll take the cheaper +5. Quickly zoom our way to that. I'm going to put that on one of the 5s to make a 10. And we'll do the same with the other 5. There's probably an argument just for getting one number to be the highest it can be. So then you can like put a weight on it or something. But I'm going for round numbers for now. And then we need our upgrade to 2 dice. For we have nothing else we can currently buy. And then when we do that, not only do we get our second dice, but we can go back to here, reroll, and find a bunch more stuff to buy. So, number of dice times 10, and a bunch of numeric dice faces. So let's start with the cheapest and work our way up. Of course we have 2 die now. A +1 and a +4, and a +2. This is a 9, but this is a replacement rather than a new number. And a 12 here. So let's add 1 to 4. Make that divisible by 5. Let's grab a 2 here. Rinse through this. And we'll put that on a 3 somewhere probably. Get as much as we can divisible by 5, and who knows, maybe we'll get to take advantage of that later. But for now, a +4. Obviously going to go on a 1. So we'll stick that there. And now we need a 9 and a 12. So these will not add on to whatever face we change. They will replace them in their entirety. So we'll probably swap out some 2s and 3s with these. Swap out the 1, it's the smallest number. And then a 12. Buying all the cheap stuff just seems so efficient. Right, let's get rid of this number 2. And now, number of dice times 10. So we currently only have 2 dice, but that will of course increase. Although 700 is far more expensive than anything else we bought so far. 873 even. So we'll obviously replace this number 2. And that is everything. So now we have to just go for an upgrade by default. We could re-roll, but if we can buy the upgrade, why wouldn't we? That'll put us up to 3 die. And then once that's done, back to the shop again. Reroll for our next set of upgrades. Now we have a lot of interesting stuff. So these are going to be a couple of big die. We want those. And this is single face, the highest face times this. So highest face times 10. We've got rerolls, we've got adjacency rolls. So let's just buy a 1 to start off with, seeing as that's so simple. We'll just get rid of that decision needing to be made. And that's obviously going to go on the 9 we bought earlier, because this is a +1. So that's a 10 now. Then what's going to be next? Let's get the 1 through 50 dice faces. And that's expensive, but not prohibitively so. And then do we just want to get straight onto the incrementer die as well? Get that going earlier? Because if we can get that going earlier, we can then assign rerolls to it. So that's going to fill the bottom center. So, 6 rerolls times 2. 2 rerolls adjacency. And then dice faces times 10. Let's take a single reroll. Adds a reroll to a dice face. Rerolls that die an additional time according to the amount specified. So, where are we going to put that? I guess we're going to put it here because this will then reroll and the incrementers will increase faster. Right, what next? Adjacency multiplier. Replaces a die face with your choice of an adjacency multiplier. When rolled, this face will have the value of all orthogonally adjacent numeric dice times 2. I meant to put this. I'm so dumb. I meant to put the times 6 multiplier on this bottom die, so it would be... No? Yes. It's increasing on all faces, but I want it to be re-rolling on all faces as well. So let's just do that. Bit of a waste, but sure. And then let's take the 2 times orthogonals, and that's obviously just going to go in the center. Whatever the lowest number here is, which is a 5. We need to do something to this left-hand die. It's not got much going on. So we'll buy this. We can put these on this left-hand die because they are going to multiply by the number of dice we have, so we don't care about their geographical position as much. Stick that there. Do much the same on this one, and then we'll get to do our next upgrade. It goes 1,000 rolls. 1,001 even. So we'll stick this there as well. That's everything purchased. Time for an upgrade. And we're getting there pretty quickly. Pretty swift. And then that's going to come in the top left, I think. No, bottom right. Maybe that's random. And then a free reroll. So now we have everything available to us. So this is going to add 2 dice of all ones. This is going to add 5 dice of all ones. The value of all numeric faces divisible by 5 is doubled because it's plus 100%. So 100% of 10 is 20. 100% of 10 is 10. 100% plus 100% of 10 is 20. Previous roll multiplier. Add a previous roll multiplier to a dice face. Previous roll result times the multiplier. This effect cannot repeat. And a dice booster adder. Alright. What do we want? How many things divisible by 5 do we still have? We've got 10 and 10 and 10 and 5 and 5 and 5. And these are growing, so they won't stay. There's a 15 up here. So there's some value for that. We're going to have to buy the lock because we're buying everything. So the question is, what dice do we lock? And what do we multiply? Add a multiplier to a face of your choice. The value of this face will be multiplied by the specified amount whenever it's rolled. Alright, well, let's get the times 3 on something. Then we'll get the times 5 on something. Probably down on these accumulators because they're going to be the biggest value. So we'll put the 3. Oh, you dingbat. That was not a times 3, that was a box times 3, not an plus 5x. This is why you should really read stuff and pay attention. So we'll buy this and then see what that face actually did for us. So something times 5. But it's 5 times the value of the thing, right? So it'll be 5 times this. Yes, okay. So what did we get for our roll there? Oh, clicking rolls. Never mind. Alright. What do we want to buy next? I'm not sure where I want to put a weight. Should we just start buying the cheapest stuff and working our way up? So, replaces a die face with your choice of die booster. Every 150 times this face is rolled, it adds a new dice with faces. Okay, so let's put that here, and then let's put the weight on it, so that we're more likely to get that to proc. Because why not? Then next, probably going to do the lock last, although we should, if it's going to be 500, we should probably get that going sooner rather than later. So what die are we going to lock temporarily? And then get a clone of later. I guess this, because then we'll get a clone of the 2x orthogonals. This might not be ideal, but it's how we're doing it. Now let's get the 100% on 5s. It doesn't even count the rerolls on here. Oh, it does. It tells you in the bottom left. 400 odd more. So we'll get our passive. Then let's get this reroller thing going. And it's going to do the previous roll. So let's do it here. Because sometimes it will proc off of the bigger number. And then we just have to buy heaps of 1 die. Still have 447 of these to go. Seems like so many. So now we're just going to be flooded with new die. But this is the last thing to buy before upgrading for the last time, I believe. So that's 5 more dice with all 1s. Good for Yahtzee bonuses and things. But that's everything else purchased. So for the unlock now, the upgrade. We're rolling some reasonable numbers, I think. Standard dice. Free reroll. And here's a whole other bunch of stuff to purchase, which is going to be tough, because adding a copy of a die is going to be real expensive. When stuff is rerolled, add 100%, make all the die faces the same of something. I take it that wild is not a numeric face value. Let's get 30 times our number of dice going, because we have a decent number of dice with all those 1s increasing now. And let's stick this here. What kind of dice are we getting? Is that a breeder? It is. Let's get that early. Because the earlier we get a breeder, the more breeding it can do. We're getting some decent rolls in here. So every 50 times those faces appear, we will get more free dice. And if we add rerollers to it, that should happen really efficiently. So let's get the ×6 reroll ×3. On here. So they're all going to reroll 6 times every time, which is great. And then this is less good currently because those dice that we've just chosen are not incredibly valuable. Choose 2 faces, their positions will be swapped. Does not change the positions of attached modifiers. So let's do that, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that once we can purchase it. So what we're going to do is we're going to swap a number, which is going to be this 99 with this 1 here. And after we've done that, we're going to turn that 1, we're going to turn the other 5 1s into 99s. There's another dice from the dice breeder. Let's turn all those 1s into 99s. Now, what else do we need? Let's get our reroll bonuses times plus 100% rather. Right, now we need to buy a wild card, a multi-face multiplier, and then add a copy, which is going to be real expensive. But we're buying everything, that's the rule. How many rules left on this? 200 more on that. Right, so this is the most common number times the number of occurrences times by 10. Well, the most common number is going to be 1, which is not that exciting. But hey ho, let's stick that here. And we'll get a wild card. More free die, more free die. That is proccing a lot because of how many times it's getting re-rolled. Now, I don't really think it matters too much where we put a wild card. Preferably next to something that's going to get re-rolled, but we don't really have too much option for that. So let's just stick it here. Then perhaps something can go around it and get re-rolled later. So we have to buy a copy of a die now. How much left on this? 123. Probably not going to be able to copy that dice. And it's going to be a long time until we get to buy that copy. Look at all these die we're growing. My record is 199 dice. So I think the copy we want might be this guy that's growing dice exponentially. Because it's doing all this times 6. Or that many rerolls or something. So let's get a copy of that. Goes back to the shop, comes back, populates that dice somewhere. And that is this whole shop bought out. We cannot upgrade the shop anymore, so we need to re-roll once for free. And now we have a whole bunch of other stuff to buy. Double your highest dice. Upon purchase, your highest scoring die will always be doubled. Effect does not apply to wilds or other dice. 5 times adjacency re-roller. Add 6 re-rollers on stuff. A simple +7 and a numeric 9. Another die breeder dice. So let's buy that and then cover it in 6s. And this is going to get out of control very quickly, I think. I need something for runs, because I'm sure we've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 around the gaff. So let's buy that. Then I need 6 multiplier rerolls times 3 on that again. And we're going to breed so many die. Right, where was that dice? I should have paid more attention. It's this guy. Right, now what? Let's just buy this +7. We want to put it on a 3 somewhere. Why not you? So that becomes a 10, which will proc for our things that divide by 5. This is just replacing a face, so we don't mind too much about this. Turn a 1 into a 9. Add the face value to itself. Can only be used on numeric die faces. So we can take a 50 and turn it into a 99 or something of that ilk. What numbers have we got to work with? 41. It's pretty big. It's our biggest kind of standalone number, isn't it? So that becomes 82. So we have wildcard, a dice of random number faces 1 through 99. Let's grab that. We are generating quite a lot of points. It's going to come in here. 89 is a good number to have on that. So now, double the highest dice and adjacency multipliers. Replace the dice face. When rolled, this face will have the number of all orthogonally adjacent numeric dice times by 5. So we want to put that next to all of our big stuff, rather than out in the ether next to all the small stuff that we're growing. So let's put that I guess kind of here perhaps. We could put it here. Let's put it there and have that die do a lot more work. Let's get this, and then we'll finish out with the wild on this shop refill. We unlocked our die and a copy appeared somewhere. Look at all those dice. So the reason we get almost 6 in a row is because the die that has 6 faces all making 1 are proccing around the same time. Let's take our passive. And then we have to save up for the wild card. Don't know where we're going to put the wild card, but sure. Boy, wild cards are expensive. I would like to see a leaderboard just for the highest number of dice accrued, not high score, just total number dice. I want to go for that high score. Right, a wild card somewhere. Let's go next to the rerolls, I guess. Let's stick it here. It's as good a place as any that I can figure out. That's everything purchased. Free restock. Got a couple of weights, which is interesting. Previous roll multipliers times 5 and 10. Single set of a kind. Whenever you roll a single Yahtzee, triple or double, gain the bonus percentage. You may roll one of each type, but not 2 of the same. You must have an effect for this bonus to apply. And these are copies of dice, which, if we're going to buy more breeders, is going to be wild. Question is, are we going to get there very quickly? Let's buy some weights. Not sure what we're going to put them on, but it's probably going to be good for us. Adjacency times 5, I guess. I think one of these 99s is times 5, but Lord knows I have no idea what's going on anymore. Then let's get 6 half incrementers on something so it can grow. This die, let's do it on this die here that's next to these arrows. We could do it on an all ones die, but I think the proximity to the rerolls is more important. Let's get a 20 times number of dice faces, because boy, do we have a lot of dice faces now. And we'll stick that here. What else do we want? These are going to be obnoxiously expensive. I mean, they are. Reroll previous number times 5. Again, another round of fresh dice. I don't know that we're going to be able to functionally afford 5 million for that. Right, I'm going to stick this here, and then I'm going to do the 10 and then put a weight on the 10. Is what I'm going to do. That is my decision. All of the dice, keep growing. More, more. Right, let's stick that here, and then put the weight on it. I just have to find it again first. Shouldn't be too hard. It's a big black dot. There it is. Right, now, are we going to buy these? Because 5 mil is probably most of our remaining rolls. And this is basically never going to proc. So I'm going to make an executive decision here and say, rather than going after 5 mil... Alright, let's see how quickly we can get to like 1 million from 436. About 50 rolls to get to 1 million. So that's too expensive, so we can't make any clones of dice. It's too much. Let's re-roll and find some other stuff to do. Half incrementer die. 5 more dies with all ones. Yahtzee re-roll. When you roll a Yahtzee, all 5 dice 3 additional times. We want that because of all of our ones and such. Like, there's so many die that are going to Yahtzee. It's unbelievable. Like, if you just would go around and count how many times you find 5 2s or like 5 5s and all the rest from all of these die that we have. Let's get this incrementer die. Tell you what, if we're buying everything, we should buy the lock at 300 first so that we can actually get it to finish before when we come down to 57. What are we going to lock is a great question. I've no idea. Most everything looks the same at this point. Not one of our rerolls because, or one of our breeders, because they're going to take forever to get going once they do come out the other end. So let's just do this guy. One of the faces was a breeder, but I'm not that worried about it. Let's get... Replaces a dice face of your choice with a multiplier. When rolled, this face will have the value of all dice times 10. That is huge. It costs 7 million, which is a lot. But if you imagine what the value of all of our dice is right now, times 10... Oh, the chug. The chug is real. How much was this? 7 million? It is. That's going to be hard to get to. But we don't have anything else to really go after, so 7 mil it is. I think this is with the game acceleration or optimization turned on. Yeah, we have performance mode on, for what it's worth. Basically, I'm now no longer limited by how fast I can press the spacebar, but how fast all the black dots can get to the corner. Although I'm not sure we're going to get to 7 million, unfortunately. Which would be a great shame, because like each one of these rolls times by 10 would be huge. I have no idea if we've beaten my record for number of dice. Alright, there's 200 rolls remaining, 4.7 million. Is there anything we can buy that's going to get us there way faster? Add reroll. Adds a reroll to a dice face of your choice. Rerolls the additional die so many times. Does not stack with other reroll effects. We can get 5 single dice for 1 million, an incrementer die for 250,000. Most common number times the number of occurrences times 4. Places a dice face with a single dice. The highest number times 2. Let's just put this somewhere. Sure. Right, 7 mil. Let's get there. More and more and more dice. $5 mil. 7 mil doesn't seem that far away now. Come on. 7 mil. We can get there. 7 mil, and then after we get the 10x, I'm just going to put a weight on it. That's all I want to do, is put a weight on it before this game is over. And then we'll just have to roll out, because it's looking like we're going to spend our 7 million and then not have any rolls left to accrue score by the end. It was 7 million, right? We must be close. Even if it's like 7.9 million. I never right-clicked it. Oh, I'm mad. Alright, we're going to put that. Where are we going to put it? I'm going to put it here on this one, next to this guy with the re-rollers next to it. No, we're not. We're going to do it. We're going to get rid of this 40. And then we're going to reroll for a weight. That's a lightweight. I want a heavyweight. There you go. Now that is going to go on the times 10. And now we're going to see if this is going to suddenly pop off. So we just want to see this be a times... Did I put the weight there? Did this not get a weight? Oh, it's because we haven't re-rolled it yet, right? There it is. Alright, is there anything else in the shop that we really want to buy immediately? Otherwise, it's going to be just going... Yahtzee bonuses will increase by 500%. Right, let's do that because our Yahtzees are out of control. And then probably roll out. 94 down to... Oh, it's so slow. This must be a record number of dice for me. What's this guy doing? 18,000 total roll becomes 183,000 just on that die alone. So let's get this last Yahtzee bonus. And now we're just going to have to roll out our last 76 dice rolls. So it's not going to be the highest score in the world, but it's going to be more dice than I've ever seen. Right, let's go down to one roll remaining. Right, so how big a square is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10... 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, presumably by 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 squared? God, I haven't got a clue. It's 225 plus these additional 7 makes 232. And no extra there, so a new record for me, 232 dice. But alas, not a high score. But still, that was fun. I'm gonna just keep seeing how many dice I can get, because that seems far more interesting to my brain than just trying to get the biggest number. In any case, thank you ever so much for watching. If you're enjoying these videos, let me know and I'll keep making them. Otherwise, I'll just play offline. Alright, have a great day. Thank you ever so much. Cheers.